We have time for one more question. Right here? Right back there. In the cabana.
I want to thank you. What a great panel.
Thank you.
My question is about change. That is a key word right now, is change. How do you define change? And how do you see it in allegorical productions affecting film?
Does anybody want to take a crack at that? How do you define, and maybe let's start with Steve and work down. How do you define change, and what would be a useful, encouraging, effective change to be occurring after this next election?
Well, for myself, we're at a time where we need a huge vision, because we have to change a lot of the way that we're thinking about things and the way we do things. And sometimes, this is just my opinion, it seems to me that we almost might be getting to a place where capitalism as we know it really needs, there's something very strange about being in a society that functions the more you consume, that's a basis for this society continuing and the economy going, because we keep consuming and consuming. There has to be, and there's so many problems in the world right now, and there has to be a huge vision to kind of inspire us and get us all going in the same way. I have a hard time thinking that can happen here until we pass some kind of really stringent campaign finance reform and get the money out of politics. For me, that's the first thing that has to happen, because, as people, we're not really represented anymore, it seems to me. And even the sort of the disappointment and the enabling behavior of the Democrats in Congress, I mean, I know it's tough for them to get things passed, but they seem to roll over a little bit easier. And for me, I feel like it's because they're lining up to take money from the same places, and we need to change that stuff. So for me, that's the first place where we start to change things.
Okay, Phil.
Yeah, I agree with Steve. There are incomparably insurmountable problems in the world today, on the whole planet, as well as in the United States. So change for me would not represent a solution to most of these problems, because whatever solutions are available, the right kind of groundwork will have to be laid, the foundation will have to be built. So for me, change would be a little more honest discourse coming from the people at the top. I would like to see people actually say what they mean and mean what they say. I don't think we can, I don't think we can abide senators anymore who all the flag waving and all the backpedaling and all the double dealing, and not only that, but these guys and these women who have this power seem to almost have a kind of a delight in thinking they're fooling us. The fact is, I don't think anybody's been fooled for a long time. Many generations, nobody's fooled, but nobody knows what to do. So for me, the change would be, and maybe Obama represents this, and I felt perhaps Hillary represented it too, a new way of approaching this discourse, a new way of elucidating these problems, another way other than hiding behind all these flags that are meant to confuse us. But we know they're trying to confuse us. So we have to not be confused, and they have to help us not be confused. And I hope that Obama represents that. Seems to be a good start for him.
Great. Laura?
It's just so exciting listening to what you're sharing. And the only thing I'd love to add in terms of some of the questions and conversations we're having tonight, and the truth, obviously, being the main theme, it seems, in terms of the change that we're looking for. But I would say, in honor of the evening that gathers us here and in the subject of film, I'm really excited that not only are we looking for a new way politically and culturally, but what we've been given is this instant gratification of the internet. And even though we're reeling, artists, filmmakers, musicians, how is it all going to land and what's going to happen, we don't have to march in the streets anymore or sit at home in our apathy. we can throw something together and put it on YouTube tonight if we want our voice heard, or if somebody's in November standing at a voting booth and is thinking, wait a second, what do you mean it says I'm a prisoner, I can't vote? What are you talking about? Buddy, get your hand, do you have a Sony camcorder? Can you film me saying this? Let's get it on YouTube, let's send it to, I just feel like we have an opportunity now to become the media, to become the voice instantly, and to use it for change and for progress, and not just wait to hope that somebody's going to finance our movie and maybe we'll get to use our voice in that way. So I'm very excited to see what everyone gets to share in their own vision to inform what the country's looking at and how they're looking at it.
Thank you.
That's a great
Jay?
vision. I remember before the fall of the Berlin Wall, they called it the Velvet Revolution, when all the students were photographing all of the police state activities in Czechoslovakia and Poland, and that could so easily happen here. It seems to be happening more and more. But I just wanted to say that what I got from this, I'm a patriot. I love this country. I am so emotional about it, actually. That's partly why I got so caught up in this film. And I urge you to go and check out this documentary I was talking about, this Lee Atwater story. It's a whole arc that he goes through in deciding early in his life that winning is everything, partisanship above all. It's winner takes all at all times, and it's the opposite of country above party. It's not that healthy part of partisanship, which is the dialectic and good debate. It's whichever side you're on, there is a temptation to fall into the political Washington thing of this cynical fight. And if there's any way to encourage the kinds of candidates who totally denounce that, and through exposure on the internet or whatever else, all of us become more vigilant for that approach, and lift up the more idealistic and inspirational people. I think there's hope, actually, still that it could again become a less partisan, more country above party nation, which I would, of course, be really much more excited about.